Okay, we're live.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. We are going to call to order the meeting of the Lackawanna County Literacy Committee. I believe we have a quorum, correct? It looks like we have a quorum. Yep. Okay. Everybody should have received a copy of the agenda, so I'm just going to go through the agenda. Starting with number 2, where we'll confirm our proof of notice. Which, Traci, you took care of that, correct?
Yes, I emailed you a copy a little
Yeah.
while ago, but that went out January 16th. I sent that to the Times.
Yes, I have it right here. It was
And
January.
that was for the whole year. So if we ever want to change anything, just let me know.
Okay, and Traci, just so I don't forget, I really want to thank you for making everything happen that you do. You do so much behind the scenes that really, if we didn't have you on this committee, we'd be hard pressed to get all the things done that we do. Because you do so much behind the scenes, just something like just setting up this meeting via Zoom.
You're welcome.
And all the things you do. I just want you to know how grateful we all are to you. The other thing is I know Sandie sent out the minutes from our December meeting. Did everybody have a chance to read them?
Yes.
Okay, can I have a motion to accept them?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, so
I'll second it.
Okay, so Traci made the motion. Patty, you seconded?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, and the next thing what I had intended tonight is for us to introduce ourselves to the county commissioners, but equally important, I wanted them to be able to introduce themselves to you. Sandie and Patty and I had an opportunity the other day to meet with the 2 county commissioners, Commissioner McGloin and Gaughan, just to go over, our accomplishments so far, but also to go over the initiatives, that we have proposed the last few months and and I have to say, we had a very lengthy, in-depth conversation. Both of them were very interested. They asked a lot of questions. And the major outcome is that they're 100% behind the committee. And Traci, you've had an opportunity to talk to them privately as well.
Yes, off and on. I actually just talked to Commissioner McGloin a little bit about it in my office today. So he's on board.
Right, so we have 100% approval from them. Now, Traci just informed me a little while ago that something came up with both of them. So Traci, they're not going to be coming to the meeting?
No, they cannot.
Okay, well, we'll try for next week. So what I would like to do, though, is I want to revisit our plan. In November, we reviewed all of the initiatives that we wanted to develop. And we kind of put a little pause on things because of the election and the change in administration, but we're ready to go again. So what I did is I sent you a copy of that again, but I also sent you a copy of sign-up sheet so everybody could kind of sign up for what initiative they would like to develop. So the first thing we have is the Reach Out and Read, right? As you all know, that is a program that has been started in Boston. The essence of it is that every doctor will make literacy part of the wellness checkup for their patients. So Patty and and is Sabine here?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. I can't see everybody. So
I'm here.
Sabine, I'm sorry we played phone tag for like 2 weeks, but if it's okay with you, Patty and I were looking at May 8th or the 22nd.
Yes.
Are either of those dates good for you? Because I didn't know.
Yeah, they're good for me. It will be in the afternoon?
No, it would be an evening meeting.
In evening, okay.
Yeah, the last time we introduced the physicians in Lackawanna County to this program, it was an evening dinner meeting.
Okay,
So
okay.
and Colleen wants to be involved in this as well.
Yes, please.
So I could send out the agenda that we talked about last fall. Just to
Yes.
remind everybody like what content we're going to present, and then we could share like different aspects of that agenda.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, and next month I might ask Joe Hollander to come. Joe is actually the CEO of the Primary Healthcare Center, and they are a Reach Out and Read site. So I'm going to ask him to come and just talk to all of us about how it's going over at primary. And then maybe I could ask him to join us the night we meet with the other pediatricians throughout the county in May. Okay? So
Sandie,
yeah.
would all of us be able to attend that meeting, even though we're not running, like, involved with planning?
Yeah, everybody could attend everything.
I was just wanting to hear. I'd like to hear
Oh, yeah,
everything.
that's why I'm telling everybody about it. I'll
Okay.
inform everybody. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's just that the four of us decided to work on that.
Oh, absolutely.
That was the one thing we decided to work on. The next thing is the libraries and the low-income housing developments. And Patty and Sandie, please feel free to jump in. Bill and Matt are really interested in that project. Like, Bill was a teacher and, he knows the problems that exist with regard to literacy. So they're very interested in that. But if you recall, we talked about doing it as a pilot in just one housing development. So I'm going to put in a call to the Lackawanna County Housing Director and just talk to him about that. And I think we're best served if we partner with Sister Ann from Friends of the Poor. Because I went down there one day just to drop off donations and, we had a discussion and she wants to be involved in this and she knows all the players. She's involved all the time distributing, items that are needed by the families in those developments. So I think Lynne, right?
I'll say, I know Lynn and I were going to be working with Pat Padula at the Housing Authority about this.
Okay, so
if you want, I'll copy you on the email.
Yeah, Traci, do you mind would you prefer to call him and then I won't have to?
I'll copy you on the email, him and
Okay.
his assistant, and figure out some time that we could all sit down and go over there, and which of the
Okay.
authorities is the best place to sort of try to run our kind of test run and set this up, and
Okay.
let him think of that and come back to us with that.
And then Bill said that that there is enough storage space in the county and he would find a place for us.
Okay, good.
To store books. So my next phone call tomorrow was going to be to Amy Leister over at the Chamber of Commerce and ask her if she would partner with us, in terms of engaging in a book recycling program.
With all their businesses?
Yeah, with all their members. Like, that might be a way to go. For example, in the Abingtons, we put tubs in some of the businesses and we collect books for the I can't think of the organization. It's right over there on 7th Avenue.
Oh, yeah.
It's not Friends of the Poor, is it?
No, it's not Friends of the Poor. Family Enrichment. It's not Family Enrichment. It's over there on 7th Avenue. Sharon McCrone used to run it, and it has a different name right now, and it's just escaping me. But in any case, we donate all the books we collect via the Abington businesses to them.
Okay.
So it's very doable. It's very doable. The next thing we talked about was parenting sessions. And Don, I know you're interested in that, but as you know from working in the schools, every Title I school is required to have parenting sessions throughout the year. And I know the reading specialists pretty much facilitate that. So I don't know, what were you thinking along those lines?
Well, I was thinking of starting there and going to them and asking if they are doing it, because I know they're supposed to do it, but sometimes
we have to do it. It's not supposed to. We absolutely have to do it.
But yes, the way they do it might vary between schools. I would like to go and find out how each school does it, how each school district does it. What are you doing? How are you doing it? How often are you doing it? I know when I was a Title I teacher, we had 4 meetings a year that we did with parents. So I would like to know how many, is there a number that they have to have right now, Patty?
We have to have parent and family engagement throughout the year.
Throughout the year.
Mhm.
And how
So,
is that defined? Does each school define engagement a little differently? See, this is what I would like to know.
They could, yes. I mean, we're having a meeting actually the end of February when we're doing our big scholastic book fair in our school,
Mhm.
where we're having the parents come in and we're talking about the Acadians data with them,
Okay.
showing the parents, here's the data, here's what you could expect with your child, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
If you have any questions about, your child's improvement or your child's reading.
Okay.
So that's one of the things we're doing. We give away books at that engagement night, and then we're going to have another one in March or April, I believe.
Okay. And see, that's what I'd like to know. Do they do this twice a year, like spring and fall? Do they do it on a monthly basis? I mean, or do it once a quarter? You know what I mean? I'd like to get that information and then work from there and see.
We don't necessarily have parenting like classes.
Okay.
That's not something that we do.
Okay.
With
And that's what
parents.
I was thinking of, things like reading aloud, how to read aloud to your children, and the things you should, the different strategies and so forth. Another one that I was thinking about was comprehension. Okay, so you read the story. What type of questions do you ask your child about the main characters, the plot, and so on and so forth, and events? I mean, I could give you some of the information that I've developed that I thought we should use, but I was thinking about things like that. Suggestions of books for different age levels, the different seasons. For example, you might have books for spring, books for fall and winter. Do you know what I mean? Just suggestions, things like that. I have a lot of things going along in my head, but until, I wanted to talk to the districts to see what they are doing so that we're not duplicating it, but rather I would like to enhance it.
Yeah. So Donna,
I mean?
how about if you did this? This is just for consideration. Like just, how we had the superintendents come in?
Right.
What if we were to conduct an evening session for reading specialists from the 10 school districts? And maybe talk to have a dialogue and see what everybody's doing. But then we might be able to, because everything you're talking about is in Louisa Moat's book that we've talked about a million times. You know how that book keeps coming up, Plain Talk About Reading. Maybe what we could do is introduce them to that book, because everything that they would need to disseminate to those parents is in that book. So for example, what you said, teaching your child, learning how to read to your child, right, appropriately, so it's meaningful and there's a positive outcome. What benchmarks they could expect their child to achieve at each grade level. And then maybe they could even walk away with some tools to take home.
Sure.
And your thoughts are really good, but I think the most efficient way to do it is, as opposed to you're trying to go out to the 10 school districts, is maybe have an evening session with all of them and invite them to the county.
Do you think we would get a lot of participation? When we had the superintendent's meeting, we had 4 out of the 10 districts.
Yeah, we had 5.
5, okay.
Yeah, we had 5. Well, you know what? That was a start. And I think Bill and Matt also talked about maybe bringing them back again, now that they're in office. So it might be, maybe if it's something that they know that we're doing under the umbrella of the county commissioners are interested. All of our elected officials are very interested in this topic.
I would be interested in, that's a good idea, rather than have me get in the car and drive to all the districts.
Yeah, that would be hard. So it's just for consideration,
Sure. Okay.
And then, Colleen, you're so used to doing all of this too, so I don't want to give you another job.
No,
Colleen, she likes to give jobs out.
And I think that's a good idea, and to accompany it, maybe some type of a survey even that could be shared with the types of things that you're concerned about, Donna. We had a survey even for the superintendents to share with their reading specialists, maybe to gather some of the data in terms of the questions you're asking. Even if we couldn't maybe get the reading specialists all to come in, if the superintendent shared the survey with their reading specialists, people might feel, you know, that you could gather some data from that.
Okay,
Mhm. So Donna,
Yeah.
you're in charge of this, right?
okay,
Okay.
sure.
Okay, all right. Okay, no, it's a great idea because as you know, the literacy plans that we're advocating for, and working with Eliza on developing, an integral part of those literacy plans is parent training.
Absolutely.
So those things are happening simultaneously.
You know,
So,
even
okay, Donna, thank you. And and you'll get help from any of us,
Yes,
Sure.
whatever
definitely.
you need.
it's just that's where I thought I would, start with the districts and, talking to them, but
And keep in mind now, it's only the 10 in in Lackawanna County.
right. Yeah. Cause I can't go to Lackawanna Trail. I know that.
No, okay. I forget too, because, as school people, we're so oriented to the intermediate unit school
Mhm.
district.
Right.
So it's kind of even hard for me. I have to step back and remember it's only 10.
Right. Okay.
Okay. The other thing we talked about was the dyslexia screening in the prison. And I think all of you know, we talked about the First Step Act and how it's mandatory that all prisoners in the federal system be screened for dyslexia. And then subsequent to that assessment, if they're found to be dyslexic, they have to be provided with instruction. So Commissioner Gahn was going to get in touch with the warden, Tim Betty,
Okay.
and just get his feelings on that. The other thing that Sandie and please, you and Patty, please feel free to jump in. But the other thing we talked to Bill and Matt about was the fact that we have prisoner advocates who have been attending our meetings. And we are in no position whatsoever to interfere with prison policy for certain. But by the same token, I don't want those two women to feel unheard. So, maybe if the commissioners come to the next meeting, our meeting, we can make sure that they're there as well and ask questions of them. But we certainly don't want to involve ourselves in, the the policies of the county prison.
No.
Okay, the other thing I wanted to talk about is, so most of you, Donna, you, Patty, myself, Colleen, we've been involved in the showing of the documentary. So Bill and Matt, I keep saying Bill and Matt, but I mean the commissioners, they want to have a public showing. We shared information with them about the fact that this documentary is being shown in major metropolitan areas. I mean, and I always send that out to you every time I'm made aware of where there is a showing.
Right.
And for it to happen in Scranton is quite an accomplishment. When you look at the fact that it's in Seattle, it's in New York City, Philadelphia. So they want a public showing, and they want to invite every school board member, every superintendent, every principal, basically the entire community they want there. So I wanted to know from you what you thought would be a good date to do that. If you thought it was a spring project or a fall.
Well, I would suggest spring, because then if people want to put some kind of plan into action, they would have the spring, the summer, and then have it up and running for fall. Sometimes I think waiting to fall is a little bit too late. If you want to, spark interest and get people moving. That's my idea, but it could be wrong.
So we're looking at one of the universities as the event, the forum to do this. And then the other thing I was thinking about, and of course I'd like to open this for discussion, is then do kind of what Sandie was doing at the libraries and having a panel who may be there to answer questions. Or maybe we could even start before showing the film, or the documentary, we could actually go through the national and state statistics as it relates to illiteracy, and then show the documentary, and then possibly open up the floor for discussion, but we would have panel members to answer questions.
Are you thinking that you want to have it at the University of Scranton, or?
I'm open to suggestions. I mean, it could be the U, it could be Marywood, it could be Lackawanna.
Okay.
What does everybody think?
Well,
Can I say, would it be possible to do it before school gets out and ask maybe some education majors to help us with it?
Yep. Yeah, when we did the community forum on violence prevention, Donna, you were there. You know, we had the school psych students were pretty much running the whole show at Marywood.
Right.
Yeah.
They were a tremendous support and help for us.
Well, that's what I was thinking. If you wanted to do it at Marywood, I mean, we used to have our contact at the University of Scranton, you know, but at Marywood, we could try to engage the education students. We would have Tammy Brown and
Sandie
Sandie
Pesavento. Yeah.
Pesavento, and you know, I mean, we could try that.
Okay.
And I know we're having an author come, or Mark Weekland come in, and we're having it at Marywood. They're giving us the space, so.
Is everybody okay with Marywood? It seems to be, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the University of Scranton, and you know, we had our last forum there. They're so accommodating, but it's easier to park at Marywood.
That's what I was thinking, because
Yeah.
so I loved going,
Parking-
you know, even when we have done things at the DeNaples Center, that's fine, but you still have to park in the parking garage and move over, you know, at least at Marywood, you're right next to the building.
Right.
But they do have a lot scheduled, so I could call and see what they would have available in the
Can you
different.
call Donna so we could have it up in the student center? That's where well, you know, where we had our forum on violence prevention. That's a
Okay.
great place to have it.
Okay,
And we're looking at is everybody agreeable to a May date?
would maybe.
Thinking May?
And
And you're talking about Nazareth?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't want to date myself. I was going to say the Pink Lounge, but then everybody would say, what the heck is the Pink Lounge?
yeah,
I knew what you meant.
okay. I'll call tomorrow.
Okay,
and
thanks,
ask,
John.
in the same place where we had
And
it.
do you think our group should serve as the panel?
That
What does
probably-
everybody think?
I would think so.
Yeah, I think that would make sense.
Okay, so then we'll be the facilitators panel. One of us will be
What
the
if-
MC.
What about if we got some lawmakers like Marty Flynn, Bridget Kozarowski, like more than just, I mean, that's not to say that we're not enough of a panel, but I think we need to bring in more, like maybe a superintendent, maybe like more than just us talking about it.
More diversity among the panelists.
Like somebody from the university level, a local superintendent, an early childhood person. I mean, we can certainly be part of it, but more than just us.
Okay, Pat, will you think of some of the key players?
Would you think, like, you know how why did I just lose his name? Chris Paris, would that, do you think he would be appropriate or not? He's the state the head of the state police. Do you think you'd want the state police involved or not?
I don't think, no, I don't think in this topic.
Okay, I just
He would have been good for our last one, Donna.
he was there.
Was he there?
Yeah, he was in the audience.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
I didn't see him. You know,
Yeah.
when you're worried about everything, it's a blur. It's like your wedding, isn't it? You know, you've run a lot of events. So then the last two things I want to talk about is one is having a roundtable discussion with the chairpersons from the education departments of local universities. I know some of you are aware of the reports that have come out from the National Council on Teacher Quality, right? And the gist of these reports is that our universities, many of our universities are not doing a very good job of preparing prospective teachers.
Mhm.
So if we're going to, target illiteracy, it's just, there's so many variables in this equation, and higher ed certainly plays a role.
Right.
So the latest report that came out, they reviewed the scores for 200 universities throughout the country, 33 universities in Pennsylvania. Now, interestingly enough, Little Misericordia, right,
Right.
in Luzerne County got a B. The scores ranged from F to A's. Little Misericordia got a B. So Patty and Sandie and I were talking about having a discussion with our chairpersons of the education departments and just having a dialogue like, hey, let's invite Misericordia in and talk to them about what are they doing that they earned a B. And even though we weren't part of that evaluation, Marywood was not, the U was, and obviously Penn State, Keystone. But what if they were?
Yeah.
Right? How would they do? So it might
Well,
be good.
they all have to, as of beginning in September, every course has had to be rewritten to include science of reading or structured literacy and so forth. So I know, at least at Marywood, all the syllabi have been looked at, books have been ordered, and there's been a revision to make sure that those things are addressed.
But I think it would be good for all of our education chairs to hear from Misericordia. We could just take a look at what they're doing. And just provide a forum for them to have dialogue. About the fact that universities are a major part of this equation.
Yeah.
So we were thinking about maybe a fall date for that now.
Sure.
Because we don't want to do too much, but and I also asked Senator Flynn if he would join us, and I asked Bridget and Representative Donahue and Representative Mullins to join us as well.
Well, they were at the event at Marywood, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Bridget was, and
Yeah. And they were at our literacy forum last year at the U too.
Right.
Yeah, so they're very interested in how timely were we with that violence prevention.
Unbelievable.
So there's a lot of good, there's a very positive outcome coming out of that, comparable to what we're doing here with the Literacy Committee. And then the last thing I just wanted to talk to you about tonight is that I'm going to schedule a meeting with Jimmy Wansack, who is the director of Head Start. And I'm going to talk to him about the possibility of having all of our early childhood Head Start teachers trained in the early childhood component of letters. And that way our kids would have a head start before even coming into our kindergarten classes.
Oh.
So I'll let you know how that goes. So we have an ambitious agenda. We have a lot to do. And please, if you have anything else that you want to do or other initiatives that you want to pursue, please feel free. These are just things we talked about. And then Traci, if I may, I would just like you to just talk about the pocket libraries.
We still have 2 more to install.
Okay.
I'm waiting for maintenance, and unfortunately the last 2 we have to pour concrete or pour cement for. I was trying to get maintenance to do it last week when we had those 2 days where it was hovering around 50-ish degrees. But they were busy setting up a couple other things.
Mhm.
So the last 2 that we have left to install are at the health department building over on Penn, and then the one here at the Lackawanna County Government Center.
Mhm.
So how
And-
many
and
are
that's it.
that? How many have we installed so far?
So far, there should be 5 that
Five?
are out there. Yes.
And
Okay.
and we're waiting for 4?
No, we just need 2 more.
Oh, 2 more. Well, that's good.
And then Traci, you got good feedback, right, from the parks director?
Oh my gosh, yeah. He said that the one over at McDade Park, every day people are coming and taking books and filling it up with books. And he said that that's now even in the wintertime. He said people like stopping by, walking their dogs, or coming with like a bag of books, getting out of their car. And
Good.
yeah, that people are really enjoying that one. So that's good. That's where their offices are. So he sees people coming and going all the time.
Yeah.
The one gentleman I know at Scranton tomorrow reached out around Christmas time. I saw him, and he wants to help us do some work. And we'll do some like landscaping around all the little libraries, hopefully in the springtime or summertime, just to make them a little
Oh, that's nice.
more appealing. Yeah,
Oh,
so
that's nice. Yes.
either Scranton
Is
Tomorrow
nice.
or the Penn State Master Gardeners are going to be helping us out with that.
Oh, good. That's nice to hear. Yes.
I just actually contracted with somebody today to build one in my neighborhood down here.
Oh, good.
I'm bothering somebody wherever I go.
I know. If I had the type of front yard, I would totally have one in there, you know?
Okay, so do we have anybody from the public on? Does anybody joined us?
No, but in the legal ad, I had it so if people wanted to send any comments or questions, they had to do so. Hold on, I'm pulling it up. By 12 p.m. on the day of the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just double check and see if I have anything. And I don't know if you want to make any comments about, I do not have any emails from the public. But we do have one resignation on the board. So if there's anybody that's interested in serving on the board, his term expires in 2025.
Yeah. Trace, maybe we could find somebody from the early childhood community.
Okay.
That's what I think we should look for. You know, somebody from Head Start, you know, nursery schools, you know, and they could even help with that whole initiative and ensure that that population of teachers get trained properly over the next few years.
Okay.
I don't know what everybody else thinks, but I think it's kind of like a missing link here.
Sure.
I agree.
Okay, well, if does anybody else have anything they want to add or any questions, comments?
I just want to, I'll be sending an email out to all of you. On April 23rd, we're having our KSLA Northeast PA, our illiteracy chapter is having Mark Weekland. He's coming to speak. I told you I was trying to get him, and now we do have him secured. He's going to talk about structured literacy, dyslexia, and how to help all children become better readers and writers, or readers and spellers. And he's an excellent speaker. He's a teacher, a reading specialist. He's a coach, a literacy coach. I mean, his resume is large and wide, but he's highly recommended. And I heard him speak and I was impressed. So I'm going to send that out to all of you. Colleen, you already received it, right? Through K.
Yes, I did receive that. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I sent it out to our members on the board and our general members. And already I have 12 people from Wallenpaupack district who've already responded, and it's in April. And we thought, you know, should we say RSVP now? But I thought, yes, because we don't want to wait too long. Yeah, I mean, I will send out reminders, but yeah, Wallenpaupack really, 12 of them are coming. So I thought that was excellent.
Donna, will you send us all the information, like the
Yes.
date? And you know what, if I may make a suggestion, maybe send it out so that the early childhood community gets that. Because signs of dyslexia are apparent in pre-K.
Who are you recommending? How do I?
Trace, would we be able to get it out to Jimmy Wansek so that he gets it out to all the Head Start teachers?
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. Yeah, I mean, send me whatever you want and we could finesse it a little bit and send it out to him.
And Donna, the United Way, they have that Success by 6, so they have a lot of representation from all the early childhood providers. So that may be a way to go too.
Okay.
Because people think that you can't diagnose dyslexia until kids are in school, and that's true to a certain extent, but a lot of the symptomology, you know, it's present in pre-K.
Right.
What about the YMCAs? Because a lot of the YMCAs have pre-K programs in them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how many YMCA
There's one in Dunmore, one in Carbondale.
Carbondale, yeah.
Dunmore and Carbondale? I was gonna say there aren't too many.
No, just those two.
My cat's trying to get up here. No. Okay. I could find out and send it to them. But I think you'll be please, and.
Oh,
you know,
good. John,
move
thanks
right
for
in.
doing all of that. Well,
Oh,
if we have no more questions, I'm going to ask that we adjourn.
okay.
Okay, and I will see everybody. We'll meet virtually again next month, and hopefully at that time, Bill and Matt will be, and hopefully even Commissioner Chermak will be able to join us.
Okay. Sandie,
Okay.
could I just talk to you for a minute?
Sure,
1 second.
sure.
Olivia is in 9th grade. And she is.
Are we off